chosen one, what the five fingers say to the face, slap. Because that's exactly what just happened. Somebody just got slapped in the face with the truth, and the sound is still echoing through dimensions you can't even see. While you're absorbing these words right now, karma just cracked its knuckles and delivered a divine backhand that sent shockwaves through every realm where justice was overdue. This isn't some feel-good spiritual fantasy. This is cosmic law enforcement in action. And you're about to discover why your enemies suddenly went quiet, why certain doors slammed shut in faces that aren't yours, and why the atmosphere around your life feels completely different than it did just weeks ago. The universe operates like a master chess player, and checkmate was just declared against every force that thought it could manipulate, deceive, or undermine your divine assignment. Picture karma as Big Bruce standing at the gate of destiny, checking spiritual tickets, and some folks just discovered their passes were counterfeit. The reverberations of that cosmic slap are still rippling through the spiritual realm, and what you're feeling right now isn't coincidence. It's the aftershock of divine justice making contact with deception. While you were wondering why the energy felt different lately, why certain people became strangely distant, why problems that seemed insurmountable suddenly started resolving themselves, karma was already executing a precision strike that would vindicate every tear you cried and validate every prayer you whispered when nobody was watching. This slap wasn't delivered by human hands. It was the collision between someone's carefully constructed lies and absolute, unfiltered truth. When deception meets divine reality head-on, the impact is devastating. Picture someone who's been spinning elaborate stories about your character, your calling, your future, suddenly finding themselves exposed before witnesses to their contradictions. But here's where the story gets interesting for you. While others are reeling from that cosmic impact, you're being elevated to unprecedented authority. The same divine force that delivered justice is now placing a crown of vindication on your head. This is why ideas are flowing differently through your mind lately. This is why you're seeing possibilities that were invisible just months ago. The beautiful irony is that your enemies' attacks triggered their own destruction. Every lie they told about you was recorded in the cosmic database. They thought they were building a case against you, but they were actually constructing the very weapon that would demolish their own reputation. The slap created a spiritual vacuum where their drama about you no longer entertains anyone. They're left facing the emptiness of lives built around opposing your destiny instead of developing their own. This is your season of divine promotion, where the universe hands you a different level of spiritual rank that comes with access to resources, relationships, and opportunities that were previously beyond your clearance level. This month represents more than time on a calendar. It represents the majestic imperial power that's been dormant within you, finally receiving permission to manifest in your external reality. Your authority upgrade operates on recognition systems that most people never perceive. When you've been tested through fires that others couldn't survive, refined through pressures that would crush ordinary vessels, and proven authentic through seasons where authenticity looked like foolishness, you earn spiritual credentials that open doors in dimensions beyond the physical realm. While your enemies were plotting your downfall, they unknowingly triggered a divine review of your character file. Every moment you chose integrity over convenience was recorded as evidence of your readiness for greater responsibility. Every sacrifice you made for your calling was catalogued as demonstration of your commitment to divine assignment. The universe was building a case for your promotion, while your enemies thought they were building a case for your destruction. This authority isn't just about personal empowerment, it's about assignment expansion. You're being prepared to handle levels of influence and resources that would have overwhelmed your previous capacity. The vision you've been carrying, the one that seemed impossibly large, is about to be matched with the authority to manifest it in reality. When you speak now, people listen with different attention. When you make decisions, the ripple effects extend further than before. When you say no to opportunities that don't align with your purpose, that no becomes an immovable boundary others instinctively respect. The acceleration you're experiencing is the natural result of spiritual promotion, like being moved from regular traffic into the express lane of destiny. The same journey that would have taken years is now happening in months, While you've been focused on developing your gifts and pursuing your calling, a divine security system has been installed around your life that operates with military precision. There's a spiritual gatekeeper standing at the entrance to your destiny, and they're checking credentials with the thoroughness of cosmic border patrol. The people who used to have easy access to your energy, your information, your emotional space, your creative ideas, are finding themselves stopped at checkpoints they never knew existed. This gatekeeper reads intentions like scanning digital code. They examine motives with X-ray vision and identify threats before they materialize. The person who thought they could charm their way into your inner circle suddenly found themselves blocked by spiritual security. Here's the beautiful part. This operates seamlessly without requiring you to become suspicious or paranoid. The gatekeeper handles the screening automatically, while you simply notice that certain people naturally fade from your circle, while others are drawn in with unprecedented authenticity. But the gatekeeper operates on dual protocols, blocking wrong connections while fast-tracking right connections. The collaborations and opportunities that align with your divine assignment are experiencing supernatural acceleration. Doors open after single conversations. Resources appear from unexpected sources with minimal effort required. The gatekeeper recognizes divine assignments, authentic callings, and pure hearts from distances that human perception cannot measure. When someone approaches your life with intentions that complement your purpose, obstacles dissolve, synchronicities multiply, and paths clear with an ease that defies logical explanation. This is why the right people are showing up in your life at exactly the right moments with exactly the right resources, connections, or opportunities you need. Every enemy who got slapped with that divine reality check was someone who failed the gatekeeper's screening process. Their counterfeit tickets were detected, their false credentials were exposed, and their access was permanently revoked. They're not just blocked from your current level, they're blocked from every level you'll ever reach because the gatekeeper's security clearance operates across all dimensions of your destiny. The chaos that was headed straight for your life like a spiritual missile just got intercepted and redirected. While you were praying for breakthrough, the universe was implementing a defense system that would transform your enemy's attacks into fuel for your acceleration. Every curse spoken over your life was returned to sender with compound interest. The negative predictions they made about your future are now manifesting as their own experience. The confusion they tried to create in your mind has become confusion in their own plans. This is why problems that seemed overwhelming just weeks ago have either resolved themselves or revealed simple solutions. The battles you were preparing to fight for years just ended before they began. The redirection creates a phenomenon where you feel invincible even when victory seems impossible. You walk into hostile environments and find unexpected allies. You encounter overwhelming resistance and watch it dissolve before you apply pressure. Your enemies are discovering that opposing you is like punching a spiritual mirror. The impact they intended for you reflects back to them with multiplied force. They're experiencing their own medicine, and the taste is bitter. Meanwhile, you're receiving the blessing that was meant to be blocked, the favor that was supposed to be redirected away from you, and the opportunities that were designed to be monopolized by others. Chosen one, you've entered the Mario Kart acceleration zone, where believing and succeeding compress timelines and multiply outcomes beyond what normal effort could produce. This is your pocket of supernatural momentum, where previous modest results are now producing exponential outcomes. While others operate under normal rules of progression, you're experiencing divine acceleration. Projects that should take months are completing in weeks. Relationships that should take years to develop are forming in days. This isn't coincidence. This is divine coordination orchestrating your success with precision that human planning could never achieve. The universe is timing each element of your breakthrough symphony for maximum impact. Your enemies got slapped with chaos, but you're being orchestrated into order. The believing aspect of this equation isn't just positive thinking, it's prophetic vision that sees the end result of faithful development. The succeeding aspect isn't just trying harder, it's divine favor that multiplies your efforts beyond natural capacity. When these two forces combine during an acceleration season, the results are miraculous. Vision becomes reality at speeds that defy explanation, and success manifests in ways that make previous struggles seem like ancient history. Only the real are passing through, and the cosmic bouncer just checked everyone's spiritual credentials. Imagine karma as Big Bruce standing at the entrance to the next level of your destiny, examining tickets with the scrutiny of divine security. Some folks approach that gate with counterfeit passes, thinking they could fake their way into territories reserved for authentic vessels. Big Bruce took one look at those fraudulent tickets and delivered the judgment: "This ain't real, step aside." The judgment process operates on authenticity recognition that cannot be deceived or bypassed through performance. It reads consistency between public presentation and private character. It recognizes divine fingerprints on authentic callings that cannot be forged or stolen. Your ticket isn't just legitimate, it's VIP access that grants privileges others cannot earn through politics or performance. The doors opening for you are invitations to exclusive experiences reserved for vessels who've proven their authenticity through testing. This is why opportunities requiring high levels of trust are being offered to you by people who recognize something in your spirit that credentials cannot fake. This is why platforms are opening from gatekeepers who've denied access to more qualified candidates but recognize divine appointment when they encounter it. The judgment created a separation between authentic and counterfeit that's now playing out in practical reality. Those who failed the authenticity test are finding doors closed, opportunities dried up, and favor withdrawn. Those who passed are discovering access to levels they never thought possible, resources they never imagined available, and influence they never dreamed achievable. Your enemies thought they could manipulate the system, but they discovered the system operates on principles that cannot be gamed. While they were perfecting their performances, you were developing genuine character. While they were crafting their images, you were building authentic substance. The judgment revealed the difference, and the results speak for themselves. The beautiful irony is that they helped orchestrate their own judgment by attacking your authenticity. Their attempts to expose you as fake only highlighted their own counterfeit nature. Their efforts to discredit your calling only drew attention to their own lack of divine assignment. They thought they were the prosecutors in your trial, but they became the defendants in their own judgment. Trust your intuitive abilities, because your internal guidance system just received a divine upgrade that operates with unprecedented precision. Your spiritual radar is picking up signals with crystal clarity. You knew something was shifting before it manifested. You felt the energy change before others noticed. This upgraded intuition isn't just better gut feelings, it's prophetic intelligence that receives downloads directly from divine source. When you get that knowing about a situation, a person, or an opportunity, you're not just guessing based on limited information. You're accessing cosmic intelligence that sees all angles, knows all motives, and understands all outcomes before they unfold in physical reality. The upgrade allows you to see through deception with X-ray vision that penetrates every layer of pretense. When someone approaches you with hidden agendas, your internal alarm system immediately detects the disconnect between their words and their true intentions. When opportunities present themselves with strings attached, your intuitive radar identifies the hidden costs before you invest time, energy, or resources. But the intelligence upgrade goes beyond just protection. It's also strategic guidance that positions you for maximum advantage in every situation. You're receiving insights about timing that help you move when movement produces optimal results, and wait when patience serves your purposes better. You're getting downloads about people that help you invest in relationships that will yield long-term value and avoid connections that would drain your resources. Your enemies are discovering that trying to deceive someone with upgraded spiritual intelligence is like trying to lie to a human lie detector. Every inconsistency in their stories registers immediately in your awareness. Every manipulation attempt triggers your internal warning system. Every false representation of their character or motives becomes transparent the moment they attempt it. This is why you can walk into situations that should be confusing and immediately understand the real dynamics at play. This is why you can meet people for the first time and instantly know whether they're aligned with your purpose or opposed to it. This is why you can evaluate opportunities quickly and accurately without extensive analysis or research. The upgraded intuition creates a phenomenon where you begin operating with confidence that others interpret as supernatural wisdom. Your decisions consistently produce positive outcomes because they're guided by intelligence that factors in variables others cannot see. Your relationships flourish because you invest in people whose character has been confirmed by divine insight. Your opportunities multiply because you choose paths that align with cosmic timing and divine purpose. Something fascinating has happened in the spiritual realm that's leaving your former adversaries in a state of confused inactivity. The entertainment value you once provided for those who thrived on drama, gossip, and conflict has been completely eliminated from their experience. They're discovering that their favorite hobby, discussing your failures, analyzing your struggles, predicting your demise, has become remarkably boring because the narrative they were constructing about your life has been interrupted by undeniable success. The comeback story they refuse to believe is now unfolding in ways that make their predictions look foolish. The success they insisted would never materialize is manifesting in forms that render their criticism irrelevant. But the boredom goes deeper. They're experiencing spiritual emptiness from building identities around opposing your destiny. The energy they invested in your downfall has yielded no return, and they're confronting the opportunity cost of time spent focused on your life instead of building their own. Their conversations that once sparked animated discussions now fall flat because success is simply not as interesting to discuss as failure. Gossip that once generated hours of speculation now receives responses of disinterested shrugs because vindication doesn't provide the same entertainment value as victimization. The schadenfreude that once energized certain gatherings has evaporated, leaving an awkward silence that nobody knows how to fill. This dynamic creates an interesting ripple effect where former enemies find themselves unconsciously seeking new targets for their negativity. But they're discovering that the satisfaction they derived from your perceived struggles was unique and irreplaceable because of the personal investment they made in your failure. Other people's problems don't generate the same emotional payoff because they don't carry the same history of time, energy, and expectation. The silence around your name in circles where it once provided endless content is deafening. People who built social connections around shared opposition to your success are finding those relationships lacking substance now that the common enemy has become an undeniable success story. They're left with the uncomfortable realization that their bonds were based on negativity rather than positive shared interests or genuine compatibility. Those dreams that seemed too big, too bold, too impossible to achieve weren't delusions of grandeur. They were prophetic downloads of your actual destiny that the universe transmitted to your consciousness to prepare you for what was always planned. While others dismissed your vision as fantasy and you occasionally questioned your own sanity, divine intelligence was already aligning resources, relationships, and opportunities to support the manifestation of exactly what you saw. The vision operates on frequency levels that most people cannot access or comprehend. When you describe your future impact to others, they hear impossibility because they're measuring your potential against current circumstances instead of divine possibility. They see your present resources and conclude your future reach is limited. They observe your existing network and determine your influence capacity is restricted. They evaluate your current platform and decide your growth potential is minimal. But prophetic vision operates outside the constraints of current reality. It shows you the end result of faithful development, consistent growth, and supernatural acceleration combined. The 10-year vision isn't meant to be achieved through 10 years of ordinary effort. It's designed to be reached through extraordinary momentum generated by divine favor, strategic partnerships, and breakthrough moments that collapse timelines into miracle timing. The vision includes specific details that seemed random but are actually divine breadcrumbs marking the path of manifestation. The numbers you saw weren't just impressive figures for motivation. They were actual targets backed by supernatural provision strategies already in motion. The locations you envisioned weren't just dream destinations. They were future operational bases being prepared for your arrival. The people you imagined serving weren't just noble aspirations. They were actual assignments waiting for your preparation to reach completion. This is why the vision remains vivid despite changing circumstances, why it grows clearer instead of fading with time, why it generates energy instead of exhaustion when you focus on it. Authentic prophetic vision carries divine DNA that cannot be manufactured through human ambition or positive thinking alone. It comes with built-in sustainability that survives seasons of delay, opposition, and apparent contradiction. Chosen one. Anyone can listen to messages like these, but few will step into their true power. We are here to help you do just that. The weekly Chosen Ones group calls are now on Zoom, and this is the moment you've been waiting for your entire life. These meetings are literal power vortexes where destinies are forged, where Chosen Ones unite their consciousness to create something that cannot exist in isolation. This is where everything changes. This is where you step into your greatness. Every week a doorway opens, but only for those brave enough to step through it. Watcher-level members of the Obsidian Inner Order can experience these transformative sessions live, feeling the energy surge through your entire being. In our most recent gathering, participants were stunned by revelations about the Great Pyramids of Giza as sophisticated ancient power plants, and the shocking truth about Washington, D.C.'s layout, perfectly aligning with the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. Star Chamber members receive unlimited access to the complete recordings archive, a treasure trove of wisdom that grows more valuable with each passing week. This is your defining moment. The knowledge, the connection, the power that flows through these calls cannot be found anywhere else. Join the Obsidian Inner Order now, link in the description. While the few remaining Star Chamber slots are still available, your presence is not just welcome, it's necessary. Will you answer the call that has been echoing through your soul? The time is now. Your enemies attacked the vision because they recognized its authenticity and understood its implications. They knew that if your vision manifested, it would inspire others to believe their own impossible dreams could become reality. They attempted to kill your vision in its infancy, to prevent the revolution it would create once it reached maturity. But prophetic vision cannot be destroyed by human opposition because it originates from divine source and carries divine protection. The acceleration you're experiencing now is the universe catching up your external reality with the internal vision you've been carrying. The resources, relationships, and opportunities flowing toward you aren't random blessings, they're precisely what's needed to manifest the specific vision you received. Every element is arriving in perfect timing to support the exact future you were shown. While your enemies were receiving their spiritual reality check, you were being positioned for a wealth transfer that operates on principles most people never understand, because they're focused on surface-level redistribution instead of cosmic reallocation based on divine assignment and authentic stewardship capacity. This isn't just money changing hands, this is resources, opportunities, influence, and favor being redistributed according to universal justice and kingdom economics. The transfer protocol operates on multiple levels simultaneously, creating a comprehensive shift that affects every area of resource allocation in your life. Financial resources that were being hoarded, misused, or weaponized against divine purposes are being redirected toward authentic vessels who will multiply them through righteous application and kingdom expansion. Business opportunities that were monopolized by those lacking genuine vision are being opened to chosen ones who will use them to serve assignments bigger than personal profit. Influence platforms that were being used for self-aggrandizement and ego-stroking are being shifted toward voices that will speak truth and provide genuine value to people seeking authentic guidance and inspiration. Relationship access that was being exploited for personal gain is being redirected to individuals who understand that connection is for mutual elevation and kingdom advancement rather than selfish manipulation. But the most significant aspect of this transfer isn't what you're receiving, it's what you're being prepared to handle. The vision you've been carrying requires resources that your previous capacity couldn't manage effectively without being overwhelmed or corrupted. The promotion in authority comes with responsibilities that your former experience level couldn't navigate successfully without making costly mistakes that could derail your assignment. This is why the transfer happens gradually enough for you to adapt and develop new capacity, while rapidly enough to meet divine timing for your assignment activation. Each new level of resources comes with new levels of testing that prove your readiness for the next increase. Each expansion of influence includes experiences that develop the character required to handle greater responsibility without being corrupted by power or privilege. The protocol ensures that resources aren't just transferred to you but through you, making you a conduit for divine provision that serves purposes beyond your personal needs and wants. Your assignment requires you to become a distribution center for kingdom resources rather than a storage facility for personal accumulation. The wealth isn't just for your comfort, it's for your mission effectiveness and kingdom advancement. Your enemies tried to block this transfer by attacking your character and credibility, thinking they could disqualify you from divine promotion through reputation assassination. But they discovered that the divine's promotion doesn't depend on human recommendation letters. Divine wealth transfer operates on spiritual qualifications that cannot be diminished by external opposition or enhanced by public approval. In this cosmic courtroom where justice has been served and truth has delivered its verdict, you're not just being vindicated, you're being coronated with authority that cannot be challenged, wisdom that cannot be questioned, and influence that cannot be diminished or revoked. The sovereign energy rising within you carries divine mandate that transforms every space you enter and every situation you touch with supernatural grace and strategic power. This sovereign consciousness operates with visionary thinking that sees multiple moves ahead, diplomatic wisdom that negotiates outcomes, serving all parties' highest good, and protective instincts that guard what's been entrusted to your stewardship with fierce loyalty. You're making decisions with the confidence of someone who understands their rightful place in the divine hierarchy and accepts the responsibilities that come with spiritual royalty and kingdom authority. The ascension creates a phenomenon where others instinctively recognize your authority even before you speak a word. Your presence commands respect in rooms where you hold no official title, because spiritual authority operates independent of human appointment or recognition. Your opinions carry weight in conversations where you possess no formal credentials, because authentic wisdom speaks with power that requires no external validation. The sovereign energy includes fierce protectiveness over your vision, your people, and your divine assignment that doesn't tolerate disrespect disguised as constructive criticism, manipulation masked as neediness, or sabotage presented as helpful advice. The discernment that allows you to identify threats before they fully manifest combines with the authority to eliminate them before they cause damage to what you're building. But sovereignty also carries the responsibility of wise rule over the territory that's been assigned to your governance. The resources flowing to you require strategic management that multiplies their impact rather than merely consuming them for personal pleasure. The influence granted to you demands ethical application that elevates others rather than just promoting your own interests. The platform provided requires meaningful contribution that serves divine purposes rather than ego gratification. Your domain isn't just personal success, it's a kingdom territory where others can find refuge from the chaos of counterfeit leadership, authentic guidance for their own development, and inspiration to pursue their own divine assignments with courage and confidence. People are drawn to your vision not just because it's compelling, but because being around you awakens them to their own potential and increases their faith in their ability to achieve what seems impossible. The sovereign energy operates with extraordinary intelligence that finds solutions where others see only problems, creates opportunities where others encounter only obstacles, and builds bridges where others construct walls. This intelligence isn't just enhanced human thinking, it's divine wisdom partnering with prepared consciousness to produce outcomes that serve kingdom purposes and advance divine assignments. What began as a special season of acceleration has now become your permanent operating system, fundamentally rewiring how you function in every area of life and ministry. The Mario Kart boost zone you entered months ago wasn't just a temporary experience, it was an upgrade installation that permanently increased your capacity for speed, efficiency, and impact in ways that make your former limitations obsolete. The acceleration operates across every dimension of your existence simultaneously, creating compound momentum that builds on itself with each passing day. Creative projects continue flowing with supernatural ease that makes production schedules almost irrelevant, because ideas manifest faster than calendars can track them. Business ventures attract resources and partnerships through magnetic attraction that defies conventional marketing wisdom, because authentic authority draws what it needs without manipulation or force. Personal development happens through concentrated experiences that compress years of learning into breakthrough moments of revelation and integration. Relationships form and deepen with individuals who operate at your frequency, creating a network of connections that function more like a spiritual family than traditional business or social associations. Each relationship multiplies the other's effectiveness, creating exponential rather than additive value. But permanent acceleration requires recalibrating your entire approach to planning, decision-making, and expectation management. The rapid pace of change that once felt overwhelming now feels natural because you've developed internal rhythms that match the external momentum. Multiple opportunities that used to create confusion now get processed through intuitive filtering that immediately identifies which ones align with your assignment and which ones are distractions. The acceleration creates perpetual momentum that extends beyond achievement into legacy building. The skills you develop during this season become permanent additions to your capability portfolio. The relationships you form become lasting components of your support and collaboration network. The reputation you build becomes enduring foundation for opportunities you haven't even imagined yet. Your enemies thought they were interrupting your progress, but they actually triggered the acceleration sequence that launched you into permanent upgrade mode. Their opposition created the resistance that built the spiritual muscle you needed to handle the increased velocity of divine promotion. They meant it for harm, but the divine used it to install the capacity for speed that makes you unstoppable in pursuit of your assignment. The new normal includes supernatural timing synchronicities as standard operating procedure rather than occasional miracles. Divine coordination becomes the expected framework for how opportunities present themselves, how resources appear, how relationships develop, and how obstacles resolve themselves. What used to seem miraculous now feels like the natural result of living aligned with divine flow and kingdom principles. As this cosmic drama reaches its triumphant conclusion, the truth that delivered that divine wake-up slap isn't finished with its work, it's just getting started. The revolution sparked by your vindication is spreading through every system, every relationship, every environment where authentic divine assignment encounters opposition from counterfeit authority and false leadership. Your story has become a catalyst for universal transformation that extends far beyond personal victory into systemic change. The revolution operates on the principle that authentic chosen ones don't just succeed despite opposition, they transform opposition into opportunity, resistance into fuel, and attacks into acceleration. The very forces that were marshaled to destroy your assignment became the catalysts that accelerated its manifestation beyond what peaceful development could have achieved. Your enemies didn't just fail to stop you, they inadvertently became instruments of your promotion. But the truth revolution extends beyond your personal vindication into prophetic demonstration of how divine justice operates when authentic assignment collides with systemic deception. Others are watching your journey and learning that integrity doesn't have to be sacrificed for influence, authenticity doesn't have to be compromised for acceptance, and divine calling doesn't have to be diluted for human approval or validation. Your example becomes a template that others can follow toward their own divine destiny manifestation. The breakthrough principles that worked in your situation become reproducible strategies that other chosen ones can apply in their own battles against opposition and deception. The authority you received becomes accessible to others who qualify through similar authenticity development and faithfulness testing. The cosmic slap that initiated this entire sequence wasn't just judgment against individual deception. It was the announcement of a new era where truth prevails over lies, authenticity triumphs over performance, and divine assignment manifests despite human opposition or systemic resistance. Your success isn't just personal victory, it's universal demonstration that the kingdom of light operates by different rules than the kingdom of darkness. The generational impact being established through your breakthrough isn't just financial inheritance, it's spiritual legacy that teaches future chosen ones how to recognize their calling, develop their gifts, maintain their authenticity, and manifest their assignment regardless of circumstances, opposition, or apparent impossibility. Your story becomes eternal testimony that encourages others when they face similar challenges. The acceleration you experienced becomes available to others who follow your example of faithfulness, authenticity, and persistent vision pursuit, despite contrary circumstances. The gatekeeper protocol that protected your assignment becomes accessible security for others who qualify through similar character development and spiritual maturity. The authority you received becomes a model for others who prove themselves through similar testing processes. This is why your enemy's coordinated attack wasn't just about stopping you personally. They understood intuitively that your success would inspire similar success in countless others who've been waiting for proof that authentic divine assignment can manifest in practical reality, despite systematic opposition. Your vindication becomes their vindication. Your breakthrough becomes their breakthrough. Your ascension becomes their invitation to rise to their own divine potential. The truth that slapped falsehood in the face through your story continues reverberating through every situation where authentic purpose encounters resistance, where divine calling faces systematic opposition, where chosen ones need encouragement to continue their assignment, despite circumstances that suggest impossibility or defeat. Your example becomes eternal evidence that truth always wins, authenticity always triumphs, and divine assignment always manifests when carried by faithful, authentic vessels. What began with karma delivering a cosmic slap to deception has evolved into an eternal revolution where authenticity reigns supreme, divine assignment flourishes without apology, and chosen ones walk in the fullness of their calling without compromise or limitation. The face that got slapped with truth is still recovering from the impact, but the chosen one who embodies that truth is just getting started with a revolution that will echo through generations, inspiring others to believe, remain authentic, and pursue their calling with the same bold authority that transformed your story from victim narrative into victory testimony. The revolution continues, chosen one, and you're not just a beneficiary, you're a catalyst, a demonstration and a leader in the eternal truth movement that's transforming how divine assignment manifests in earthly reality.